have arrived. Please keep the enthusiasm going. A very good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all distinguished guests, eminent academicians, industry leaders, researchers, faculty members, scholars, and dear students. I am Dr. Sudhanshu Bhatt, Director of University Relations, and on behalf of Sanjivani University, it is my singular privilege to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the first International Conference on Sustainable Innovations in Engineering, Science, and Management, SISM 2026. This conference stands as a platform where ideas meet impact, research meets relevance, and innovation meets responsibility, all aligned with the larger vision of sustainable development. Before we begin, let us take a moment to honor and remember a visionary who laid the foundation for Sanjeevani University, the late Sri Shankar Raoji Kole Sahib. His dream of bringing quality education to the rural masses and creating a true societal impact is the cornerstone upon which our institution stands. To carry his legacy forward, may I request our honorable dignitaries to join us on the stage for lamp lighting ceremony symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, and collective enlightenment. May God Saraswati bless and enlighten us all. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the formal felicitation of our distinguished dignitaries as a mark of respect, gratitude, and institutional culture. I request the audience to please keep the applause going until the completion of felicitation. May I first invite Honorable Shri Amit Koleji, President, Sanjivani University, to kindly step forward to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy, Founder, Chairman, and Board Member, Science Hyderabad, and Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Hyderabad. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. A.G. Thakur, the first Vice Chancellor of Sanjeevani University, to kindly felicitate our guest of honor, Dr. Amrendra Pani, Joint Director Research, Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi, India. May I now call upon our President, Sir, Sanjeevani University, to kindly felicitate our first keynote speaker, Dr. Pankaj Goenka, Professor, Graduate School of Technology, Industry and Social Sciences, Tokushima University, Japan. May I now invite Dr. Kavita, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, Sanjeevani University, along with Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sanjeevani University, to kindly felicitate our second keynote speaker, Professor Ajit Jaukar, Visiting Fellow, Department of Engineering Science, University of Oxford, United Kingdom. May I now again invite President Sir to kindly felicitate our third keynote speaker, Dr. Alex Fenton, Associate Dean, International Faculty of Science, Business and Enterprise, University of Chester, United Kingdom. A huge round of applause, please. Thank you, sir. To formally commence today's proceedings, I request Dr. P. William, Director Research, Sanjeevani University and convener of SISM 2026, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to one and all present here, dignitaries on the dais, our chief guest, respected Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, founder chairman of Science Hyderabad, our guest of honor, Dr. Amrendra Pani, joint director of research, Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi, our respected keynote speakers, honorable management, honorable vice chancellor sir, dean, all directors, HODs, participants, and all my invited colleagues. I welcome you all to this international conference. The aim and scope of this conference includes sustainable innovations in engineering, science, and management. As we are in the era of research and innovation, I highly appreciate all the participants who participated in this conference to contribute the knowledge. I encourage every one of you to present well, as nowadays research is something that is the need of the hour. So in order to inculcate that research culture in Sanjivani group of institutions and Sanjivani University, frequently we organize such international conferences. And the major highlight of this conference I want to tell that is, whatever the paper got selected in this conference, that will be processed to IEEE Scopus proceedings and peer-reviewed Scopus Index journal with whom we have a tie-up, that is Q1 and Q2 journals. I'll not speak much on this. Let's give a time to our experts who are here. Like as we have an expert like Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy. So I have interacted with him just 3 days before he met our Union Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan ji. Recently, he had interaction with our Finance Minister. He's into board of governor, into IIT Hyderabad, IIT Roorkee, and many of the things. As I spoke with Amrendra Pani sir, he was into the panel where they used to train vice chancellors. And many keynote speakers are there. So let's take our best insights and implement those technical insights in our project. With this, once again, I welcome each and everyone in this international conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. William, for setting the perfect academic tone for the conference. May I now invite Dr. Kavita Rani, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, Sanjivani University, and Organizing Chair of SISM 2026, to kindly deliver the conference note.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhanshu. Good morning. I extend a warm welcome to respected Chief Guest, Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, sir, Founder Chairman and Board Member, Science Hyderabad. Guest of honor, Shri Amrendra Pani, sir, Joint Director, Association of Indian University. Honorable President, Shri Amit Nitin Rao Bole, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A.G. Thakur, sir. Distinguished keynote speakers, Professor Ajit Javkar, sir, Visiting Fellow and Post-Director, Department of Engineering Science, University Oxford, UK, and Dr. Pankaj, sir, Professor, Graduate of School of Technology, Industrial and Social Sciences, Tokushima University, Japan, and Dr. Alex Pinton, Associate Dean, Faculty of Science, Business and Enterprise, University of Chester, UK, and external session chairs from various universities, respected registrar, deans, directors, all heads of the department, and distinguished researchers, academicians, faculty members. A very good morning to one and all here. It's my great privilege and honor as an organizing chair from School of Engineering and Technology to present the conference vote for first international conference on sustainable innovation and engineering science and management 2026. This conference has been thoughtfully designed as a global platform for interdisciplinary dialogue, bringing together innovation for engineering, scientific research, and the sustainable management practices. The objective is to collectively address environmental and industrial societal changes. This conference theme strongly emphasizes the need of integrated, inclusive, and future-ready solutions aligned with sustainable development goals. We are very pleased to share that the conference received an overwhelming response with over 150 research paper submissions from researchers representing both national and international universities. Each submission underwent a rigorous peer review process conducted by domain experts based on originality, technical merit, relevance, and contribution for sustainability. 33% of high quality papers were selected for presentation in this conference. To ensure and focus a meaningful deliberation, the conference has been structured into 8 specialized technical tracks, reflecting the breadth and depth of sustainability-driven research, like sustainable engineering system and green technologies, renewable energy, energy storage and smart grids, environmental science, climate change and resource management, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and IoT for sustainability, advanced materials like circular economy and waste management, sustainable manufacturing, Industry 5.0, supply chain management, and engineering management and policy for sustainable development. These tracks, each researchers will be engaging in different in-depth technical discussion, fostering cross-disciplinary collaboration and translate research outcomes into practical real-world sustainable solutions. The conference features keynote address from international eminent speakers, providing a broader perspective on emerging directions and global challenges. To ensure a high quality evaluation of research contribution, we are supported by 10 distinguished Excel session chairs who are expert in respective domains and they are represented from reputed educational institutions and industries from across the country and abroad. As we embark this academic journey, I encourage all the participants to actively engage, share your insights across and create a network and collaborate these opportunities which can create a long-lasting, sustainable impact beyond your outcomes. With this, once again, I welcome all of you for this wonderful conference and make this conference a success. Wishing you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Kavita, for outlining the vision and scope of this conference. It is my honor now to invite Dr. A.G. Thakur, Vice Chancellor, Sanjivani University, and patron of SISM 2026, to deliver inaugural address.
So good morning. Good morning. So chief guest for this today's international conference, Professor B.V.R. Mohan Reddy sir, founder, chairman, SAN, and as well as a very eminent entrepreneur, as well as the, now I can say, academician guiding many institutions because he is on the board of many IITs. So welcome to our campus, sir, and it's really a privilege for us. The next very dynamic person, the says I am saying dynamic person because only once I met him in the VC conference at the Coimbatore, and I was so inspired that the first when I have discussed with our president sir, then I told that I am going to call sir for the guidance. So thank you, Abdul Pani sir, being here. I joined director, particularly is looking after the research wing of the AIU. Our keynote address, Professor Ajay Jaukar sir from the Oxford University. Welcome to you, sir. Alex Panton sir from the University of Chester. Professor Pankaj Koinkar sir, professor from the Tokushima University, Japan. Our inspiration, our guidance and the motivation, our president Amit Kolle sir. Kavita madam, our Dean of School of Engineering, all the deans, Dr. William, who is the convener for this conference, all the session chairs, all the faculty members, HODs, deans and directors. So first of all, on behalf of the Sanjivani University, I would like to welcome you all. Just I will take you some brief outlay about the Sanjivani Group of Industry, this institute. Our visionary Sri Shankaraji Kole started this Sanjivani education in 1983, and with the engineering and polytechnic college with the three core branches. And then over the years, leap and bound, we have advanced, and now we are having many other institutions like we can say pharmacy, Ayurveda College, School of Science and Commerce and Science. Also, then we felt that there is a need of some quality education in the school. When particularly Amit sir has taken the charge as a our managing trustee. So we have started with the Sanjivani Academy, Sanjivani International School at the Shirdi, and so many schools in and around area as well as the junior college, etc. With the main we can say vision of the Sanjivani Rural Education Society is that how to change the socio-economic in this area. And I'm very happy to say that we have done some impact analysis also over the and we have observed that lot of changes happen in the overall we can say economy as well as the social culture of this particular area. Then in 2019 our engineering college become autonomous. Before that we don't have any experience of autonomy as we are affiliated to Pune University. When we got that we are really having lot of freedom in the autonomous institute. So our pharmacy become autonomous institute and our polytechnic also is the first private polytechnic in the Maharashtra become autonomous. Then we have taken a call, lot of discussion happened with the management and our senior leaders from the Sanjivani group of institute. And then we thought that why we should not start our university, because we'll get the more leverage than the being a part of the institution. And then we started the Sanjivani University in 2024. First year we started only with the two schools, that is School of Engineering and the School of Commerce and Management, with the various courses like basic computer engineering, cyber security, AML, AIDS in the School of Engineering, as well as the BBA, BCom and the MBA in the School of Commerce and Management. This year we have extended with the starting the School of Pharmacy as well as School of Science. In the School of Science, we have started with the chemistry, microbiology, as well as the food and the nutrition. Most of our courses are empowered by the industries like uh, Fortinet, IBM, SCL, TCS, etc. This year also we have started the BCA MCA course also as a part of extension of the engineering. And in next years we are proposing for some more schools, particularly the sports and the health and other things. Only few points I will talk about the Sanjivani as a Sanjivani group. So first, our strong point is that we are having a lot of collaboration and we want to further enhance. So we are having an international internship. We have already discussed with the guests, but for the participants, every year we are sending our students to various countries. We started with the Canada first, and now particularly with the Taiwan, we are having many such internship program. Not only internship, but we are extending for the hiring also. Particularly, I was discussing with Pankaj sir also that how we can enhance for the Japan. Already we have started that point of view. That is the international placement. Here we are offering particularly the language also as a part of our curriculum. We are offering the three languages to the students: Japanese, German, and the French language. In the university, last year we have partnered with the Messrs University for the joint program. And once we get the eligibility, we may extend it further, because as per the AIU and the UGC, unless and until we are not NAC, we cannot collaborate directly in the dual degree and other programs. So definitely we want to go for that. The one key area is the AI. And sir, I am very happy that not only the student but our faculty also. These 6 months we have taken AI as a one of the tool to train them. So we are having Sanjivani University Teaching Learning Center, and in that our next team is AIU, and we ourselves are training our faculty so that how we can use the AI effectively for the teaching learning. Not only that, our around 2025 faculty has joined the that AI for Educator course of NPTL, so that we have to upgrade ourselves, because now the students are one step ahead, so we also have to match up with them. As far as the next years, my 2 3 projects are, because our new university we have to initiate. So one is the sustainability.
We have done a lot of group, we can say brainstorming session, and we'll see that how the we can contribute for attaining the sustainability. That is the one key area I want to work. And second is related to the IKS, because there are so many things are in the Indian knowledge system and which we can incorporate. So these are the two key areas we want to work in the next year. And definitely the guidance of such eminent persons will be helpful to us so that to take further. Definitely under your guidance, because we are having lot of dignitaries today here and lot of our experts for the session also. So we really value your guidance, and definitely in years to come, the Sanjivani University will make his footprint at the national as well as the international level. So thank you all for sparing your time and being part of this international conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the glorious legacy of Sanjeevani and the brighter future that lies ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now proceed with the official release of the conference abstract proceedings, SISM 2026. Kalpana ma'am, can I request you to get the proceedings on the stage? This marks a significant academic milestones. Can we have a generous round of applause? Guys, let us show our appreciation with a huge round of applause, all of you. Thank you all. We now arrive at a moment that deepens the intellectual foundations of this conference, where academic inquiry meets policy insight and research translates into institutional direction. It is time to hear from a perspective that engages closely with universities, scholarship, and the evolving architecture of higher education. It is my privilege to invite our chief guest of honor, Dr. Amrendra Paniji, Joint Director and Director in charge of the Research Division at Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi. Dr. Pani is an accomplished higher education policy researcher, an academic leader with over 2 decades of experience across diverse university systems and research institutions. At AIU, he provides strategic leadership in policy research, faculty capacity building, and student centric academic initiatives. His work spans research methodology, governance, and institutional development, contributing meaningfully to global conversations on quality, relevance, and innovation in higher education. Dr. Pani, we are honored to have you here, sir. Can I have you to address the audience today?
Thank you so much. The anchor very beautifully and powerfully introduced me. So nice of you for introducing me in a very illustrative manner. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good.
Yes, I can see the shining faces, young face, bearing the two lines on the front row. Many young students, young girls and boys. I can minimum expect you this hall as long as we are here. The hall cannot be allowed to be miserly about clapping. Number one. Number two, the hall has to be filled with energy, enthusiasm, and vigor. Okay, friends, I'm grateful indeed to Sanjivani University, especially Professor Thakur, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this esteemed institution, for inviting me to speak something on research ecosystem, the area which I am passionate about. I have been working in this area since several years. Probably Thakur sir just got to know a little bit about that, so invited me. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, one of the most accomplished entrepreneur, leader of this country, such a coveted personality, sir. Your august presence is an added feather to this conference. And I am very delighted to share the dais with you, sir, with your experience, rather coveted experience. Honorable Vice Chancellor, esteemed Registrar, Professor Amol, Mr. Amit Phule, the President of Sanjivani University, the developer of this beautiful institution, Dr. Pankaj Koinkar from Tokushima University, Japan, Dr. William, Dr. Kavita, Dr. Alex Fenton, and I'm leaving nobody on the dais, faculty members, invited dignitaries, students, and researchers. I'm delighted to be here to speak some ideas about research that has of late stooped down to becoming only a degree earning mechanism. Any discussion on research, its output degenerates into criticizing our research and its impact and output. And I am not a votary of this criticism. I believe in something optimism that research can bring transformation. Research can really help us to scale new heights in every field, every parlance. I understand I have very limited time to speak because we are already lagging behind the time. My young friends, I have a straight question. First of all, I convey my best wishes and appreciation for the institution Sanjivani University under the leadership of Professor Thakur for choosing a theme of topical importance, that is sustainable innovations in engineering, science and management. Friends, when we are speaking about the sustainability of everything, we must address the sustainable development goals. There are 17. First one, removing poverty. Second one, elimination of hunger. Third one, providing clean water, sanitation, hygiene, life to every citizen. Fourth is directly related to all of us, of which we are the fraternity, that is education, providing quality education. Likewise, there is one sustainable development goal, minimize your consumption. Developing strong institutions, the need of the hour, 21st century requirement. We are in the modern age. We cannot miss the boss. So each of the 17 sustainable development goals essentially requires the research to be injected some vitality. It's the research only that can really help us in accomplishing the much and long cherished sustainable development 17 goals. I have a straight question before my young friends, students. Why research? Why research? You forget about the book of J.W. Best, C.B. Good, Kulbir Singh Sidhu, many authors, Indian or even outside authors. I'll speak my mind as a research methodologist, as a trainer of trainers, taught. We teach research methodology to the professors, those who are teaching at the university level, because we give them the advanced trade, how data science is evolving, how methodology is to be used in the research scenario, and how the pedagogy is to be delivered. I essentially believe in three things. There is a system, it doesn't work. We need to do some research. First reason. Second reason, I'm speaking from ordinary parlance, from an ordinary person's viewpoint, the ordinary person, the way he sees the research. Second, there is no system at all. We want to develop one to make our life simpler, smoother, easier. Therefore, research. The third one is very interesting, to unravel the mystery around the nature. Friends, history never gives a discount to anybody. Time doesn't stop. Whether I was busy in taking care of my family, my children, engaging myself in the mundane affairs of life, history never gives a discount to anybody. Similarly, nature works independent of our perceptions. What we perceive, what kind of judgmental we become, nature has no concern with it. Nature works independent of our perception, and there are millions and billions of mysteries around us in the nature that needs to be unearthed, unraveled, and we need to utilize that unraveled, explorated knowledge for the overall human being, overall welfare of the human being, and the larger interest of the society. So therefore, research. Friend, 21st century itself characterizes itself with the century of knowledge. We are in knowledge era. Our industry is knowledge industry. Our economy is knowledge economy. Our society is knowledge society. In our everyday discussions, deliberations, we use knowledge intensive words in every sector. That means the economy has to be driven by the knowledge. Gone are those days when knowledge created by the universities was simply being shelved in the almirah of the libraries. It was having no impact on the society. Friends, today very strongly advocated that either the created knowledge has to help enlarging, enriching, and revisiting the existing repository and stock of knowledge in our research language, scientific, philosophical language, we call it epistemology, science of knowledge. That needs to be expanded, either through your research or it must address to the societal issues, the concurrent challenges the society is facing today. Can you imagine? You are the most empowered person. The disadvantaged section of the society, those who have no access and reach at the university level, they are looking towards you in their open-eyed manner that these are the guys, these are the people, those who have been educated, well informed, and they will help us to address the challenges of the society, making our life smoother and easier. So therefore, as a researcher, we assume one of the very, very important and the highest sense of responsibility to help the society, right? So therefore, research has to take the front seat. We cannot allow the research to stoop down only to become the degree earning mechanism. Fine, earning a degree through PhD or any kind of things, it's okay. But research must yield some result. Research diverse from the social reality, disconnected from the social issues, yields no result. It's merely a futile exercise. Universities, being the citadels of learning, universities are the guardians of the socialistic and humanistic tradition of a nation. It's the place where fortified minds, intelligent minds from diversified background are congregated, working collectively to explore the collective knowledge and collective wisdom, which will be utilized for the welfare of the society. This is what the big and important responsibility we researchers hold, and the society minimum expect from us to behave responsibly. We have to be judicious about the resource we are using, whether it is national resources, state resources, any kind of resources we are using. Do you know more than 65% of the research infrastructure, tools, machines, techniques world over are sitting idle. But every year we are pumping so much of money to buy new instruments. We have to be judicious in our approach. Friends, let's talk about a little bit of the research ecosystem. Research is something which is where essentially intellectual elitism matters. Research is not a cup of tea of everybody. Seeing a general person and a researcher, the basic difference, a common man only sees, perceives, but a researcher observes. When there is focus, seriousness, right, finding some meaning about the situation, that involves research. So as researchers, we have to be very serious in our activity, and we have to work towards the accomplishment of sustainable development goals the foundation of which has been drawn basically from the nature of the Mother Earth. Mother Earth has been exploited so much. हमने अपनी आवश्यकता को इतने बढ़ा दी. Can I be little bit Hindi also? Yes. हमने अपनी आवश्यकता को more than our necessity बढ़ा दिया, and we exploited our nature so much that now it is telling upon the Mother Earth's health, and we need to correct the situation. और आप लोग, the budding researchers, budding scientists, you are the future, right? You are the jewels of the society. ये आपके ऊपर एक बहुत बड़ा दारोमदार है. Coming to the research ecosystem, there is a paradox in our country. Initially, our institutions have been teaching dominant institutions. Research is the second priority in our system. Third, we are a knowledge-intensive country where knowledge is only created but less applied to the society. Lots of issues are there. We are in Industry 4.0. Before understanding Industry 4.0, try to understand Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. There are a lot of discussion about Industry 4.0. This word is being very frequently used. We have to be very familiar with the things. Industry 1.0, when the human being started, that was the first industrial revolution. When, shall I keep the time? Just 2 minutes more, 2 to 3 minutes more. When the human being learned how to use biofuel, fossil fuel, steam engine for running machines, engines, that was the first industrial revolution. Second, brought a magical transformation in our life, that was the invention of electricity. Third was emergence of information and communication technology. Fourth is Internet of Things, IoT, big data analysis, blockchain technology, and the latest of all is artificial intelligence and ChatGPT we have started using. Like we are talking about Industry 5.0 that focuses upon quantum science, right? Quantum computing, but it's in the nascent stage. So being in Industry 4.0, especially when we are witnessing massive changes in educational landscape, the same thing is also happening in the field of research. We need to give some strength to research ecosystem by catching the young and fresh talents. Our country is having the pride of having demographic dividend. And that demographic dividend, if not nurtured, identified, and channelized in a positive and productive manner, it will turn into demographic disaster. You have heard it, and it's a fact. We have a Juva Desh, Juva Pidi, Juva Shakti, full of energy, abundance of talent. और इन सभी चीजों को चैनलाइज किया जा सकता है अगर इफ यू फोकस ऑन रिसर्च, साइंटिफिक इंक्वायरी, इंक्विजिटिवनेस, स्पिरिट ऑफ इंक्वायरी. जहां तक इकोसिस्टम की बात है, वी हैव अ मिसिंग लिंक. द हायर एजुकेशन प्रोफेसर डजंट इंटरैक्ट विद द स्कूल चिल्ड्रन. As a higher education professor, researcher, you are getting your raw material from the school level. If the quality and foundation of education at school level is poor, you are not getting good material, good people having understanding, nuances of research at your higher education level. So this ecosystem needs to be reconnected, revisited, where higher education, secondary education, school education needs to have a proper, well-coordinated linkage. Funding, peer review, within the institution, proper research policy, training of researchers. As a senior dean, senior researcher, you cannot afford to rely upon your junior officer or junior faculty members to deal with an important research project for which you have received your funding from CSIR, DBT, or any organization. Because it will, any lapse, any minor lapses, it will land you in trouble, it will give you a bad name to your institution, disreputation to your institution. So research methodology training is very important. Just taking another 1 minute, giving one example of methodological error many times we encounter. छोटे छोटे research methodology के error होते हैं. A person, you might be knowing, it's a very popular thing. A person was conducting a an experiment on a cockroach. First leg cut. He recorded if you chop up the first leg of the cockroach, it can move. That was his finding. Second leg chop, third leg chop. When the fourth leg was chopped off, he wrote it. Even if you cut the fourth leg of the cockroach, it becomes deaf and it cannot listen to your command. This is a simple methodological error and described in a very humorous and joking manner. So likewise, many things, many issues are there in the research ecosystem. It's just like the interaction between the non-living living being on the earth, where elephant also survives and unseen bacteria also survives, which can be only seen in microscope. Right? There is continuous interaction between the non-living and living being, so that maintains the research ecosystem. Similarly, in the research ecosystem, we expect that each actor, whether the principal researcher, team, the funder, the institution, regulator, everything has to be well coordinated. Then only we'll find a good research ecosystem. Friends, I understand this is not the time. In fact, the topic I'm dealing with is a very complex one. I need minimum 1.5 hours of lecture to reach at you, to explain you the things with the proper digital data, statistics, and everything about the health of research ecosystem of our country. But I'm more interested to listen the coveted personalities like BBA Mohan Reddy sir, and there are other speakers. Before I conclude my speech, I really wish each one of you to become best researcher. I really wish this conference to be a very, very productive and result-oriented one, influencing large number of young researchers to do massive work in the field of research. Friends, I belong to a Vedic family. I always conclude my talk or speech with a Vedic sloka, which I am going to recite. Nalini dalagata jalamupi taralam, tabata janamati atisaya chapalam. Nalini dalagata jalamupi taralam, tabata janamati atisaya chapalam. Kshanamapi sangati sadanne reka bhavati bhavanna vitarane noka. Do I need to translate it? A kamal ki patta, lotus leaf, is floating on any of the water surface water body. A small bubble of water, मोती बिंद की तरह उसके ऊपर पड़ा हुआ है. हल्का सा हवा की संस्पर्श में आते ही वो बूंद जो मोती जैसे bubble of water हिल रहा है. And the life of the bubble of water is so volatile, so fragile, it can be dropped into the water within a fraction of a second and the life ends there. This is exactly human mati, buddhi, mati and दिमाग and आत्मा प्राण सब volatile. चल चंचल and चल चपल. ऐसे में अगर कुछ विद्वान, एक गैलेक्सी ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, गुणी विद्वान लोगों का संगत कुछ क्षण के लिए लाभ किया जाए, ये ज्ञान रूपक सॉरी ज्ञान रूपक समुद्र को पारी करने में ये छोटा सा नौका जैसे मददगार साबित होते हैं. पुनः आप सभी लोगों को थैंक्स देते हुए मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहूंगा. जय हिंद.
Dr. Pani, that was a really power-packed delivery. Thank you very much for sharing your insights on research ecosystem, and that is so nationally relevant. We shall continue with the conversation, sir. We now come to a point in the program that brings together vision, enterprise, and institution building on a global canvas, a perspective shaped by decades of leadership at the intersection of industry, innovation, and education. The stage is set to hear from a voice that does not merely respond to change, but actively shapes ecosystems and future. It is my honor to invite Chief Guest Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, sir. Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy is a pioneer technocrat who placed India firmly on the global engineering map by founding Scient in 1991. Under his visionary leadership, Scient grew into a billion-dollar global engineering and technology powerhouse. A strong advocate of education, he currently serves as the chairman and the board of governors at IIT Hyderabad and has previously served on the boards of IIT Roorkee and several NITs. He also played a key role in shaping the reforms under India's National Education Policy, NEP 2020. As the founding director of T-Hub and the former chairman of NASSCOM, Dr. Reddy has significantly contributed to strengthening India's innovation ecosystem. A recipient of the prestigious Padma Shri Dr. Reddy also drives transformational social initiatives through Science Foundation. His memoir, Engineered in India, is a national bestseller and which chronicles his inspiring entrepreneurial journey. Sir, we are deeply privileged to have you. I request you to kindly address the audience. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Amit Kohli, Professor A.D. Thakur, several other dignitaries on the dais, several of them off the dais, and most importantly, my dear young friends. I'm honestly very delighted to be here with all of you this morning. I feel very delighted when I'm in the middle of a young crowd, because my belief in life is that I'm past. What I'm seeing in front of me, what I'm seeing in front of my eyes, is my future. And the fact that I see so many bright eyes, shining eyes, smiling faces, makes me believe that my future is in your safe hands. So I'm very delighted to be seeing that scenario from all of you this morning. I am equally delighted that Sanjivani University has decided to do the first international conference on sustainable innovation in engineering, science, and management, a topic which is extremely relevant for the current times. I also like to take this opportunity to thank Sanjivani University for inviting me for this first international conference. What I intend to do in the next 15-20 minutes is to talk to you all about how do we engineer the future. That's core to me, dear to me, the engineering parts. I'm saying, how do we engineer the future? And how does technology can drive sustainable development? I said, you are bright people. My future is safe in your hands. Equally important is, I'll call out, you are very fortunate people, very lucky people. You are born at a point of time that the world is at its best. There are challenges there. We'll come to them in a minute. But if you look at India per se, the economy is firing in all the cylinders it has. We're forecasting now the GDP growth will go up by 7.4%. We certainly have, at this point of time, the best of GST collections, the best of infrastructure. Privatization policy level is doing its best. And certainly, you have universities like the Sanjivani University, created by forefathers of the Kohli family, which are going to be the best institutions for all of you. That way, you are very lucky children. There's also a challenge that goes along with it. Paradoxically, we face a challenge in terms of sustainability. That's a key theme that we have for today. Why am I calling this key challenge? Global temperatures are going up by 1.2 degrees Celsius. Countries like India or many other countries are stressed for resources, including water. Today, it might mean many things to many people, but to me, the Venezuela fiasco is all about a resource called oil. The mighty rich is trying to say that, let's loot the oil too from a neighbor who doesn't have the same military power. We're also seeing more amount of climate disasters. What's more interesting, or what is more perplexing, is the intensity and the frequency of these disasters is increasing. We've seen them over and over again. And certainly, what we also see is that inequality is growing. There's no denying that we all keep saying that Indian scenario at 1.3 or 1.4 billion people, the middle class is growing. That's a very nice situation for this nation. But what's happening is the below the poverty line is not moving above the poverty line. The rich is becoming the super rich of the world. So inequality still continues to grow. And we continue to have health crisis from time to time. And then there is, of course, fragile ecosystem. You saw the Supreme Court intervening in the last few weeks, all about the Aravalis and how we can do mining in Aravalis. So therefore, it is time, given the issues that the challenges that we talked about so far, in terms of global temperatures, in terms of calamities that are coming by, the divide between the rich and the poor. Now, sustainability is a core issue for all of us. Every one of us, one of you as a student, or somebody like me who have years and years of experience behind me. So it is not, therefore, an abstract sustainability is. Sustainability is not an ideological concern. Sustainability is not an NGO topic. Sustainability to me is a core for engineering, sciences, and management. That's the challenge that we all have. I talked about you being very fortunate people. I purposefully stopped calling out the big one for the simple reason I wanted to spend a little more time on it. That's where I spent 50 years of my life, and that's all about technology. That gives you a flavor of how old I am. I graduated way back in 1974. It's 50 plus years since I've been in the corporate world, spending my time on technology. But I'll tell you, technology has not been what it is today so far in the history of mankind. We think it'll become better and better, and I'll tell you why too. I keep saying that I spend very little time talking about the past. Past to me is history. The amount of time I spend on past is the amount of time that I spend looking at the rear view mirror as I drive my car. I'm all the time looking at future. Future is so bright, it's shining in my eyes. You look at technology, what it has done, not so much so in the past, recent past, because to me it's present too, because I lived in the 20th century. So let's recall what happened in 20th century moving into the 21st century. 20th century is the one which brought in electricity to us. It brought automobiles to us. Imagine without automobiles, what would you be doing? Imagine what would have happened without electricity. Would you have this comfort? Would you have this brightness? So many things have changed for us. So also is telecom came into existence only in the 20th century, or it's aviation, computers, mobile, and med technology. But look back, if you look at the 20th century, technology developments is all to do with the physical comforts of humankind. The automobile, the electricity gave you air conditioning, light, mobility, mobile phones, aviation. Whereas you look at the 21st century technology developments now, momentarily. This is all about internet, smartphones, getting connected 24/7. It's all about cloud computing. It's about AI. It's about machine learning. It's about quantum computing. It's about generative AI. It's big data, digital payment infrastructure. So what is the difference here and there? These are cyber physical systems. We're now trying to say that we can integrate the cyber systems into physical systems. And that seems to open up a Pandora for us in terms of opportunities. And certainly, what we believe is that the breakthroughs that have happened so far are not accidental. Please do not think that it's accident that happened. It happened only because of intensive experimentation, intensive research, in terms of efforts by people, by researchers. And certainly, yes, there was also a lot of pressure that was there to say, can the human being travel faster? Can they eat better? Can they become more healthier? And you saw a big outcome of it. Longevity has increased quite dramatically. To give you a flavor, 500 years back, the longevity of a human being was 35 years. It's now at 75 years. So in 500 years, we could increase the lifespan of a human being by 40 years, which means 12 years of science and technology is increasing the lifespan by 1 year. So look at your own lives. You probably will survive for at least 100 years, if not more. I can tell you jokes thereafter about what happens to human being thereafter. Will require more spare parts. We're already seeing that, right? Spare parts are already there. You have spare parts for knees. They can actually grow some of the organs in the lab itself. But that we'll leave it for some other day. So therefore, what is technology doing is galloping at this point of time. And these breakthroughs are happening because of capability, because the constraints that they have, and also they are attaining scales. Don't be mistaken that I'm just talking about technology as the computers and communication and so on and so forth, but you also see enormous amount of shift that's happening in biotechnology, genomics, clean energy, and advanced manufacturing. Take the example of, I'm sure some of you are mechanical engineers in the audience, or I know the dean of our university itself, she's a mechanical engineer. That's what mechanical, computer science, sorry, computer science. I'm sure there are several people of mechanical engineering. My classic example is, you heard about something called 3D printing. That's a new one. It can print with one particular material, multiple materials, the same any format that you require. How many of you have used T-square? Thank you. Thank you. People don't use T-squares. Have you used set squares? There's one more. So I'll ask you this question, sir. Do you know what is French curves? What is French curve from engineering perspective? Please tell me, sir.
Instrument that is in compass box.
No. No. It is, when we talked about set square has holes in there, right? Actually, people always believed that it was easier to carry the set squares, so therefore the holes were there. But they were not holes for carrying them. They are the ones which you call the French curves. And what were these French curves were, if you want to drive a curvature, they would be, the smoothest way of drawing them was French curves. But then people did not use them. Why? Because if you use French curves, manufacturability becomes so difficult. We keep calling yield became so small. So the result, but now with 3D printing, it's possible that you can do anything you like, including, I keep saying that my staircase in my home is also a French curve. We put all that effort in order to make sure that it could be done that way. So therefore, what was thought to be impossible is now possible, not just in technology areas, but biotechnology, clean energy, and many more. But what we are also further seeing is that this technology so far has been limited to a particular usage. If you look at the 20th century, I started off as a computer programmer. I had the role of being computer programmer, and you wouldn't have ever heard about this language called autocoder. And I used to write programs in autocoder. But then that particular initiative in terms of writing programs in autocoder has given way to many things at this point of time. The computers that we used have become smaller, cheaper, and they become faster. I'm an alumni of IIT Kanpur. In 1974 is when I graduated. 1971 is first time I saw a computer. How big was the computer? It was as large as this room. That's how it was housed in. How many people did it service? 2,500 people. What is the power of the computer? It was less than what the smartphone has or what you have in your bags, your pockets, or wherever they are. So that's the transformation that we have seen with computers over a period of time. And we've also seen an equally big transformation with communication. At one point of time in my life, communication, getting a phone was a luxury of life. We used to give job contracts to our employees which said, a telephone will be provided at your home. That was the perquisite. And some of my foreign friends used to laugh it out, saying that, what is this rubbish like? Giving a phone to somebody. Look at the transformation that it's seen. How many of you do not have a cell phone with you right now? See, none. How many of you don't have two cell phones with you right now? Many of you. But I think some people are cheating. There's two SIMs in the phone, so they're as good as two cell phones. But more importantly, look at what happened to the cell phones. They said 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G doesn't seem to end. And what's it making it possible? Look at the application thereafter. The application is, I have an application in healthcare. People call, in COVID times, there was something called consulting. Doctor on one side, you on one side, explained what your problem was, doctor gave you medication. That's not true any longer. People can now come on the video line. That was possible, all right. But more importantly, you can now do telesurgeries. Why is it possible? Because the latency on a 5G network is less than 1 millisecond, which means the doctor who's a specialist can operate on a dummy body. But as the stylus moves on the dummy body, on the other side, there's a robotic arm doing the surgery on the patient. That's possible. How far are they apart? They could be as much as even 10,000 miles apart, and still the latency is 1 millisecond. So also you'll see a lot of transformation happening with these transducers. These ugly looking devices, I used to call them at one point of time, which can sense everything and anything. God gave you 5 senses. Those transducers at this point of time can do the same as what you do. They can feel, they can see, they can hear, they can taste, they can smell. The idea when people ask me, saying that, what are you doing as your application for tasting? I keep saying, I get good wine, bad wine tasted by my application, my transducer. So wine tasting is a good way of making sure. That's the type of skills that have come into it, technology that's come into it. And how does it come into it? We'll come to it in a minute. But these transducers are putting oceans of data. And the data is the new oil of the world, as people call it. You write algorithms on top of data, and you get AI. And so therefore, this combination of computers, communication, sensors, algorithms is not confined to one application. Challenge me in any area, I'll tell you how this is being applied at this point of time, whether it's agriculture, it's healthcare, it is logistics, it's education, every one of them. So therefore, technology is available today for us to even address issues of climate change, disaster management, healthcare issues, as well as the rich-poor divide. So therefore, if technology is there with you, how does technology come to you? This is all in the air right now, is because you need to do research. How has technology come out of the systems at this point of time? is to a constant experimentation, relentless amount of effort people put into it. It's not just accidentally things have come by. And this part of it, which is the technology which has come out of the system, which is out of enormous amount of effort of R&D, can now be converted into innovations. Now, you might say, Mr. Reddy, what's different between the research and innovation? Research is leading us into what everybody calls them as inventions, something that did not exist so far. But if you look at innovation, is what you do is you take these building blocks and put them together for a better solution. And that is what the innovations that are required as we move forward. So therefore, what we are seeing is R&D comes out of curiosity, and the curiosity has to be converted into capability. R&D is creating more amount of knowledge. That's the invention part of it. It reduces the risk, and certainly it is the building block for creating breakthrough innovations. So you now have technology leading into research which is giving you innovations, but you require human in the loop to make sure that the innovation happens further. The human in the loop's ability to say, I challenge the status quo. I want breakthroughs. I want to be a disruptor. That's what you should think about. Don't allow things to work as they are. Let break them and fix them. Break them and fix them much better than what they've done so far. And so if you can certainly get into that mode of saying, I challenge the status quo, I can take risks, I can be very persistent, I can be collaborative, I can do teamwork, that's when innovation is born. Human in the leap in using research, which are the building blocks, certainly will make sure that we will have innovation prosper in this world. But innovation cannot stop there. Innovation has to reach out to masses. So you require scale. You require execution. Where does scale and execution come from? Scale and execution comes from industry. So therefore, the interface into industry comes in at that point of time to see that it reaches out to billions of people, not millions of people any longer. So therefore, what we see is that if universities are to evolve themselves into knowledge hubs, but they should not become knowledge silos per se. And today, that's what we are seeing. And that's what my recommendation to the faculty, deans, and the administrators here on the dais. Research has to become open research. Research has to be translated, and they have to become products and services. It's not easy. So one of the suggestions I would have to our Chancellor, President, is that what we're trying out, and it's working out very well, early days all right, United Kanpur back again, is created something called Translational Research Office. So the faculty does research, take it to TRL3, TRL4, they can leave it there. Thereafter, we have a translation research office, which has specialists in terms of understanding what market requirements are, what is the total addressable market, what is the industry requirements, and translate the research that's been done into something which is a product as a service. So therefore, I think what universities need to do is that they can't be just doing theory alone. They have to convert themselves into more amount of applications. But we also certainly think that industry has to also change. They have to definitely come into the academic institutions. We are creating that a perfect handshake at this point of time to ensure that these problems that we have are all solved through the chain I talked about so far. So increase the amount of linkages between research and with the research, The second one is you need to understand what the industry requirements. So therefore, academia linkages have to go. I made the suggestion that please invite industry to come and see what you're doing. That's when the linkages go by. And we also are saying that the students have to have experiential learning. It's not any longer theory alone. They have to use their hands. We're getting down to even school. Somebody made fun the other day, but I think that still doesn't matter. That even at school level, on class 5, class 6, let them build things. A physics experiment, they have to just not learn by theoretical knowledge, but they have to do the experiment themselves to learn it, is the other thing that we need to do, experimentation. We also want to suggest to you that there should be more amount of industry academia linkage in exchanging faculty and industry subject matter experts. We've seen that doing very well. And then, of course, I like many of you to become entrepreneurs. One, of course, success story. I went through the whole cycle before I became an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship is nothing which is bad. It is the need of the hour in this nation. I think Professor Pani talked about demographic dividend. The upside of demographic dividend is the number of people that we have. The downside of it, if I may call it, it is today we get 1 million people seeking jobs every month in India. Or in a year approximately, 10 million people require jobs. Or if you fast forward it by 10 years, you require 100 million jobs. 10 crore jobs are required in India in the next 10 years. And we have enough evidence to say that job creation gets done primarily because of net new job creation gets done because of small and medium enterprises. So we'd like all of you to become entrepreneurs. Try out that area. Not necessarily everybody succeeds, but then if you fail, you'll still be learning. You will therefore not only become rich, richness is a part of entrepreneurship. Don't be ashamed in terms of saying that. Wealth creation is a part of entrepreneurship. I said I'm not ashamed of saying it, so I might as well say, I started my company with 20 lakhs of my money, 32 years back. Today the company is valued at 20,000 crores. That's the wealth we created for people. But created for us, but more importantly, the one which gives me enormous amount of satisfaction is we created 20,000 high-paid jobs across the world. And third one is that today, at least about 200 crores of money has been spent on social responsibility, whether it is girl child education, skilling of the girl child, or it is to do with AI interface into high schools. So therefore, if you become an entrepreneur, you can participate quite intensely into nation building. So I would urge my students to start working on projects which matter to the society. Don't work theoretical stuff. Theory is very good, understanding the concept, but thereafter that has to be applied. The second one is you have to work on ideas which have a potential to scale. It probably applies to my neighbor and nobody else, then it's not worth your time. It's not worth what you need to spend. And then certainly you have to align yourself with your curiosity. Number of people keep coming and asking me saying that, Mr. Reddy, what's the business I need to start? What should my son do or my son-in-law do? I keep saying that's the sure sauce for failure. If I tell them what they need to do, because the fire has to come within. So each one of you, my young friends, leaving apart the first two rows, ask this question. What's the purpose of my life? Why am I here? If you get an answer, that's where the fire is. So I think you've been very lucky in many ways being here in this prestigious university, very young, all right, but still, the amount of work that they're doing is very impressive. The interactions that I've had with Dr. Williams and the rest of the team have been outstanding. And I think there's a great future for the university, and as a result of it, great future for all of you. On that count, let me wish all the very best to the first international conference. of sustainable innovation. Certainly, I think it's the need of the hour, and I'm sure your deliberation will be great. And you have some outstanding speakers lined up later for the keynote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your visionary insights and sharing the industry academia wisdom with all of us.
Thank you.
To commemorate this occasion and preserve it as a lasting memory, we would like to present a framed photograph that was taken a few minutes ago as a token of our gratitude on behalf of Sanjivani University to all our esteemed guests. Dr. Kalpana Joshi, can we get our team ready? To begin with, I invite Honorable President Sir to present memento to our chief guest, Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy Sir. You can take. I now invite Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir to present memento to our guest of honor, Dr. Amrendra Pani Sir. Vice Honorable President Sir to present memento to Dr. Pankaj Koinkar Sir. Thank you, sir. May I request our Dean and Vice Chancellor Sir to present the memento to Dr. Ajit Jaukar Sir. And finally, may I again request Honorable President Sir to provide the memento to Dr. Alex Fenton. Thank you, sir. This brings us to the conclusion of the inaugural session. I now invite our young and dynamic registrar, Shri Amol Dhakne sir, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here for the inaugural session of SISM 2026, the first international conference organized by the School of Engineering and Technology, Sanjivani University, Kolkata. It is my honor to propose the vote of thanks for this occasion. First and foremost, we offer our sincere gratitude and respect to our honorable visionary leader, founder president late Sri Shankarauji Kolle Sahab, a true leader and a social reformer who devoted his entire life to bring the quality education in this rural area. He firmly believes education is the most powerful tool or the instrument for the empowerment and progress. And with his vision only, Sanjivani University, which is moving ahead with various milestones. On behalf of the Sanjivani University, I extend my sincere gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy sir, for accepting our invitation and enlightening us with the guidance and presence here. Thank you, sir. Your valuable suggestions that sustainability is the core issues right now, and technology can help to resolve the issues of the sustainability, like a climate change, disaster management, and healthcare problem. Also, your focus on the entrepreneurship that is a need of nation, and to start working on the project which is helpful for the society. The mantra which you have given, and definitely our student and faculty members will work on this. And what is the purpose of my life? That is a mantra sir has given. Definitely our student will ask the question to themselves, what is the purpose of their life, and they will work on it. So thank you, sir. Thanks a lot on behalf of the university. So I am extremely grateful to the guest of honor, Dr. Amrendra Pali sir, for sharing the thoughts of the academic and research perspective that research can bring the transformation. Sir has highlighted the importance of 17 sustainable goals. Also, sir has given the importance that history and time doesn't stop for anyone. And research, which is the essential tool to tackle or to help the society. Thank you, sir, for coming and accepting our invitation. We especially thanks to our esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Pankaj Koinkar, sir. He is the professor, Graduate School of Technology, Tokushima University, Japan. So, Dr. Ajit Javkar, sir, he is the professor and visiting fellow at Oxford University, UK. Dr. Alex Fenton, sir, he is the associate in International Faculty of Science, Chester University, UK. For who have traveled from different countries and came here to interact with all of you for this conference. We eagerly look forward to you, sir, for your keynote addresses. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I sincerely thank you to chairman of our group, Sanjivani Rural Education Society, Sri Nitin Dada Kulle sir, for his continuous support and encouragement for every milestone. I am extremely grateful to our backbone of Sanjivani University, our respected President Honorable Sri Amit Dada Kolle sahib, for his constant guidance, motivation. Under his visionary leadership, we are steadily progressing in various fronts. My sincere thanks to Dr. A.J. Thakur, sir, Vice Chancellor, Sanjivani University, for always guiding us on various fronts of academic and administrative. I would extend my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to the School of Engineering and Technology, along with the Dean, Dr. Kavita Rani ma'am, for this arranging of this wonderful conference, first international conference. I am thankful to Dr. P. William for dedicated planning and flawless execution of this conference and the inaugural program. Finally, I express my sincere thanks to all the deans of various schools, the School of Commerce and Management, School of Sciences, School of Pharmacy, all the directors of the university, all the head of departments, teaching and non-teaching staff, all my student volunteers, organizing committee, all the session chairs which is coming from various locations, all the participants for their valuable contributions and the active participation of this particular event. Thank you all for the making inaugural session as a grand success. And with the permission of the chair, I hereby declare this inaugural program of this first international conference which formally concluded. Thank you, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We shall now be commencing with the second part of our event, the keynote address, the much awaited event. So I would request now all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly move forward to the first row towards the audience side. I will now hand over the mic to our student anchor, Ms. Vidya Jagtap. She will be guiding us through the second half of the program. Vidya, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu sir. Good day once again to all our distinguished guests, respected faculty members, researchers, and their delegates. I'm Vidya Jagtap, and on behalf of Sanjivani University and SISM 2026 Organizing Committee, it is my honor to welcome you all to the Keynote plenary sessions. We are privileged to begin this segment with keynote addresses by three eminent researchers and global thought leaders whose work spans advanced material science, applied artificial intelligence, and international academic innovation. Our first keynote speaker for the day is Dr. Pankaj Goenka. Dr. Pankaj Goenka is a professor at Graduate School of Technology, Industrial and Social Sciences, Tokushima University, Japan, and an internationally accomplished scientist in the field of material science, nanotechnology, and engineering education. His academic journey spans research and teaching engagement across India, South Korea, and Japan. With over 130 publications in peer-reviewed international journals and extensive experience as a reviewer for leading scientific publishers worldwide. Dr. Goenka is widely respected for his contributions to advanced material research and global academic collaboration. His keynote will offer deep scientific insights aligned with sustainable and advanced engineering innovations. May I now request Dr. Pankaj Goenka to kindly deliver his keynote address.
One, first of all, I would like to thank the organizer of this conference and all keynote speaker dignitaries of DIET to be here, and I'm going to share my experience on the research. Today, my topic is innovation, innovative nanocomposite strategies used for enhanced visible light photocatalysis. Basically, we are working on the nanomaterial. So we create the nanomaterial. Those nanomaterial can be used for photocatalytic application. So in next 15 to 20 minutes, I am going to talk on my research. Maybe next, it is next slide. It will come. It's not come. Yeah. It's video. Oh. This one? Okay. Thank you. The outline of my talk is the introduction of photocatalysis. Then I will give a summary of recent development in the field of photocatalysis. And at the last, I'm going to share about the research, what kind of research we are conducting in our laboratory at Tokushima University, Japan. So first, introduction. As you know that we have lots of water. So the water content on the earth is enough, but we cannot use all of the water. So this earth has 70% of the water if you consider the sea water. But when we want to clean something, we cannot use the sea water. Then remaining water, that is 2.5% in this world, we use for drinking as well as cleaning purpose. Now, as you know, our population is increasing day by day. We are consuming lots of water, and everybody is searching for the sustainable solution, how we can reduce the carbon.
how we can reduce the use of energy. Basically, when we are using the energy comes from the power station. So we want to reduce the carbon dioxide. We want to find out the sustainable solution for a particular use. Photocatalysis is one of the technique that use as a sustainable solution. So in case of photocatalysis, when we consider that we have only 2.5% of water that we can use either for drinking or cleaning. But when we use the water for cleaning anything, whether in our house or most of the time in the companies or factories, whatever water we are using, after using the water, it gets contaminated water. Now, what is contaminated water? So after the use, water is contaminated means it consists of some kind of organic molecule. So once any fresh water, any clean water, if it consists of organic pollutant, it becomes contaminated. Now we cannot use such kind of contaminated water. If you want to use the contaminated water, or if you want to recycle the contaminated water, it must be clean. So the photocatalysis is the process, is a technique to make the contaminated water into reusable water. So that is called as photocatalysis. There are many sources of contaminated water. Now you will say that each companies or factory have their own recycle unit. Yes, you are correct. But those units are running on the power. They need energy. Energy comes from power station. So we want to reduce the use of energy. So photocatalysis don't use any kind of electricity, any kind of energy. That's why photocatalysis comes into the picture as a sustainable solution for this problem. Photocatalysis not only clean the contaminated water, but it can be used as antibacterial agent also, or other application, so that we can get the sustainable solution to various application. We have solar light. So solar light is the source for photocatalysis. When we consider solar light consists of UV, visible, and IR region. Visible region, if you look at the visible region, so visible region our eyes can see. If sun is coming on the earth, our eyes can see only visible. We cannot see UV, we cannot see IR. So whatever research has been done is until now in the visible light region. We want to expand this research for IR also. Lots of researcher has done the photocatalysis, but mostly on the UV visible. So for now, I told you about the photocatalysis. What is photocatalysis really means? Photo is nothing but the word photo here means photon, and photon means it's about the light, source of light. And catalyst is a material, especially it is a nanomaterial, and that nanomaterial act as a catalyst. So it is photocatalysis. If there is no catalyst, then we say photolysis. Similar, if you are a student in your junior high school or high school, you heard about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. So this process is inspired from photosynthesis. So here we call photocatalysis. In case of photocatalysis, we use catalyst as a nanomaterial, and that nanomaterial can increase the rate of chemical reaction. Now, what kind of chemical reaction is involved here? So this is the picture. It has animation, but due to time, I sent the PDF file. When the light comes onto the photocatalytic material, so light has an energy. when you have an energy, any particular material get excited. So the charge carrier in the photocatalytic material is is excited. When they excited, they can react with the water content in the contaminated water. There are organic molecule also. When I told you that contaminated water means it has a water, and contaminated molecule is an organic molecule. So these charges plus and minus react with the water as well as with the organic molecule. Organic molecule means pollutant. And then there is a chemical reaction occurs, and that chemical reaction with the water and organic molecule break the carbon and hydrogen bond. So organic molecule is nothing but a carbon atom and hydrogen atom comes together with a certain bonding that we called as an organic molecule. If you want to break this C and H bond, you need certain kind of energy. So light is the energy, and when you add the nanomaterial, this chemical reaction, the speed of this chemical reaction enhance, and the process of photocatalysis is very fast. So that's why creation of this radical, especially OH radical, is important, that OH radical react with the organic molecule as well as bacteria, and then we can get the clean water. This is purely chemical reaction. So if you look at this picture, the blue color is the methylene blue dye. So whenever we have cloth in the cloth industry, initially the cloth is white color, okay, whether it is silk or maybe cotton. Then we can have a different type of color on it. So that those color made up of dye. Methylene blue is a blue color. So when it mixes with the water color becomes blue. Now our job is to clean this blue color water. So when we use certain kind of nanomaterial, we put the nanomaterial inside the contaminated water and put those solution in the environment of sunlight where sunlight can easily come. And chemical reaction occurs, creation of radical, destroy the organic molecule, and we can get the pure water again. So you can see blue color has been changed to transparent color as original water can be seen at the end. However, it takes time. From blue to transparent water, the time may be 30 minutes, sometime it may be 60, or in some cases it may be 120. Why? Because we are using different type of nanomaterial. It's the property of nanomaterial, how much it can support to enhance this chemical reaction. So depending on the type of catalyst, these time may change. Every year, from last 2 years, there are 10,000 paper on photocatalysts. Now you will say, so many researchers are working. Yes, but we want to find out the ideal photocatalyst. That's why many researchers are working in the field of photocatalysis. So every year there are 10,000 or more paper published on the photocatalysis. If you look at the data 15 years ago, it was only 3,000, but now it become more than 10,000. So 4 times bigger than the 2011. So we can see how many researchers have been looking a sustainable solution through the photocatalysis. Most of the researcher has used a different type of nanomaterial. It may be doping with the metal or non-metal. The nanostructures which has semiconducting property, and it can give a visible light response in the visible light region. or heterojunction. Two type of semiconductor you can combine together, or SPR enhanced photocatalyst. So SPR enhanced photocatalyst means you can use the noble metal like AuAg, silver or gold nano material. If you look at the history of photocatalysis, so most of the research has been conducted on the metal oxide, and metal oxide can be combined with the noble metal, that is binary composite, or maybe another type of non-metal or carbon related material. Most of the research is either single oxide material or binary type of composite. So in our research, we have think to use the ternary composite, because binary composite or unitary element has certain kind of limitation. To overcome this limitation, we can use the ternary composite. In the research, metal oxide is a widely used material, but it has certain kind of difficulty, disadvantages, like electron hole recombination rate is slow depending on the oxide material, and the visible range, it can respond in only visible range. That is the disadvantages. So we want to overcome this problem. That's why we add semiconductor oxide in another semiconductor oxide in the form of two-dimensional material, as well as we are putting the metal nanoparticle. So there is a combination of three material. We are using two-dimensional material and then add semiconductor material and finally metal oxide. Now, combining these three elements together makes ternary composite. And each element has some kind of advantages. Those advantages are listed here, and these advantages are useful to increase the photocatalysis process. Like two-dimensional material has high surface area, that is good for the photocatalysis, or metal nanoparticle can increase the range of absorption band, or semiconductor material in the form of oxide, they can also give good response to the light. So combining this property of individual element, put them together, might be useful for making the ideal semiconductor material for photocatalysis. So in case of research, what we have done, we have prepared the nanostructure by unique way. What is the unique way to prepare the nanostructure? We use laser ablation. So laser ablation means we use nanosecond laser ablation. It is a pulse laser ablation, and we put micro size particle into the water and we started the laser. So once we started the laser on solution, after certain time, these microstructure microparticle is converted into the nanostructure in the liquid. So in our experiment, we have used indium selenide material that was microstructure, and it convert into the indium selenide nanocube. So you can look at the picture before the laser ablation, after the laser ablation. So before the laser ablation, the size was 2 micrometer, but after the laser ablation, it become 100 or even 70 nanometer. So sheet-like structure, a simple paper, simple writing paper like structure, you can see, but it convert into the three-dimensional cubic structure. So two-dimensional is converted into three-dimensional. So these individual sheets come close together and make the nanocube. So we have confirmed whether the structure, which is a nanocube, is really indium selenide or not. Before laser ablation, it was indium selenide. After the laser ablation, it was indium selenide. We confirm from the XPS, TM, and ACM also. There are other characterizations, but I have not included in it. After making this indium selenide nanocube, we add zinc oxide plus AU nanoparticle, put them for hydrothermal process for certain time with certain temperature, and then we can get the ternary composite. While forming the nanocube, how these nanocube can be formed. Earlier, I told you that microstructure indium selenide is used as a bulk material. So bulk material, you can see on the top, it was sheet-like structure. But after 5 minutes of laser ablation, that sheet is cut into the pieces like rod. Then rod is changed into the spherical kind of form. And after 15 minutes, they started to come together to make the uneven cube. At the end of 20 minutes, a perfect cube can be seen as a nanocube of indium selenide. Then we mix together to make the ternary composite. And ternary composite, you can see on the figure A, there is an indium selenide, but figure B is indium selenide decorated with AU particle. AU particle has small size, so maybe you cannot see, but there are some dots. Those dots are AU. And we also added zinc oxide, so you can see the ternary in the figure C. We characterize them, and after characterization, we can see that in the ternary composite, each element is present. This means that there is a formation of ternary composite. And then we tested this ternary composite for photocatalysis. When we use unitary element, the catalysis response was not big. Even for binary, it was not so good. But once we apply the photocatalysis process for ternary composite, you can see the green line, it gives a sharp response. So the response was very fast as compared to unitary or binary composite. Why this sudden response can be seen in the form of ternary composite? Because the ternary composite, in case of ternary composite, there was a fast charge transfer from AU nanoparticle to indium selenide. Once light comes onto the photocatalytic material, then electron hole can play important role. If the creation of this electron and hole can react quickly, we have charge transfer. And for charge transfer, these AU nanoparticle can support, okay, can push this charge carrier towards the indium selenide. And after the indium selenide, it comes to the zinc oxide, and together it's a collective or synergetic effect of individual elements, and we can see the enhance in the photocatalytic activity. So here I can explain why this effect has been occurred, or why we can get the increase or improve photocatalysis. So once these light comes onto the AU nanoparticle, the charge carrier, that is electron, easily move to the zinc oxide, and then from zinc oxide it can move to the indium selenide, and finally those carrier can react with the methylene blue, and it can make decompose methylene blue, that is clean water. So in this way, these mechanism can be explained. So this paper was published in ACS Applied Nano, and after that we have also published several papers in different journals on the same topic. I would like to thank my collaborator in Tokushima University and collaborator in the university near from here, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University. And I would like to also thank my doctoral student, Niloy Paul, Maeda, and Siddhant, who has done this research work. So these are our teams. We are 3 professors and more than 30 students working on this research. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita. Dhanyawad. if you have any question, I can take your question. Do you have any question? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. If you have any question, I would like to take your question. Okay.
Audience, if you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah.
Questions,
Yes.
since you've transcended from India to Japan, I mean, how different is the scenario, I mean, compared to India and Japan as far as science progression is concerned? You know, just your personal feedback.
Yeah, the way Japanese system and Indian system work is totally different. When I completed my PhD, I moved to the Korea.
For 1 year, and last 19 years I'm in Japan. So if we look at the facility they have all kind of facility. Basically, when we are doing the research, we get all facility within our institute. We don't have to go outside. So that's why research is very fast or quick there. We can get the research quickly. Another thing, all Japanese are really hard worker and they really do good research. Although our working time is 7 hours, 45 minutes, but most of the researcher can stay in the laboratory for 12, 14, 16 hours. So this is the dedication for their research. They're always looking for new things and it can motivate other researchers to do the better research. So the research system they have, it's very different than what we have. Of course, in Japan, there is a language barrier, but with the time, I break that language barrier. I have the language barrier. I know the Japanese very well now, but initially I do feel there is a barrier, but you can overcome with this. As you know, if you move to different country, there are many difficulty, there are many challenges. But if you work closely with those challenges and difficulty, you can have a better solution and make your life more comfortable. So life in Japan is more comfortable than India because they have all kind of facility. There is no crime rate. The life is safe, life is cool, and it is always better than India because we don't have those facility. Of course, with the time we might have facility and things might change in the future. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please. Yes. On the mic.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's a very fantastic session, sir, because water is a very biggest issue in all over the world.
Yes.
You have mentioned the catalysis process, sir, photocatalysis. So I just little bit concerned about your sessions. Ki I'm a microbiologist,
Yeah.
and water is mainly concerned with the microbial pathogens is there.
Yeah.
So how can have you carried out any experiment like photodynamic activities like this along with the photocatalysis? And how can we reduce the microbial burden of the particularly wastewater as well as the drinking water?
Yeah, yeah. So far now we have done the photocatalysis. If you know, my one of my student Niloy Paul is working on antimicrobial activity. So we are going to conduct the experiment with the researcher from biology to conduct these experiments. So in this year or maybe next year, we will have some publication on microbial activity or antibacterial activity as well. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Goenka.
For the brief insights on innovative nano-composite strategies and photocatalysis process, this topic has provided a strong scientific foundation for the sessions ahead. Our second keynote speaker is Professor Ajit Zavgar. Professor Ajit Zavgar is globally recognized researcher and educator in applied artificial intelligence, serving as visiting fellow in the Department of Engineering Science at the University of Oxford and as a senior applied AI consultant to the UK Ministry of Justice. As course director for several advanced AI programs at Oxford, his work lies at the intersection of AI engineering, cybersecurity, data governance, and human AI collaboration. Professor Zafar regularly advises governments, global corporations, and international forums on the responsible and scalable deployment of artificial intelligence worldwide. May I now invite Professor Ajit Zafar to kindly deliver his keynote address.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. So you can hear me at the back? Yes? Good. Okay. Very good. So let me start by seeing if this works moving forward. No, it doesn't. Um, Sorry, how do I move the slide forward? With this one? Or... Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, it's the other way around. Good, thank you. So I won't introduce myself too much. I created this presentation more for the students, and I think I'm going to address them more because I think that with AI, a lot of your life is going to change very dramatically, and it will be having some challenges, but it also has many opportunities, which is the point I'm trying to make. Now, I have a range of things I've been working with the government, and also I have been working with Oxford for a very long time. So my presentation is a mixture of academia and industry from that perspective. So this is me in the White House about 2 years ago. And the point here I want to make is that whether you're talking to members of parliament or whether you're talking to senators or whether you're talking to students, the issue is always the same. The issue is how will AI completely change your life? And I believe from where I am sitting and the visibility I have, it will be a very dramatic shift. And this is something I want to share with you and to understand what that means for you. So a little bit about my other work. I am very hands-on. So this was something which we did at Baramati. This was about AI in agriculture with the help of Microsoft and Oxford and Baramati. This was shared by both Satya Nadella and Elon Musk as an example of engineering success worldwide. And it is not far away from here. Right? So I think that what we tried to do was to solve a hard problem. In that case, it was more the impact of climate change with that kind of thing. So, and I met Amit sir recently in Oxford. And this is how we started this relationship, and here I am with that. Now, what I want to share with you is this is from Geoffrey Hinton, who is one of the godfathers of AI. And he says that there will be a jobless boom. This word is not heard recently, correct? I mean, whenever you have a boom, you have an increase in jobs. What he's saying is that there will be a boom, but there will not be a corresponding increase in jobs. And this is a kind of a weird problem which we are seeing in the West already. And this, I think, is going to be a global problem and in many ways affects many of you coming into the workforce very soon. Then there is this one here. So this is from one of the other publications, and it says that Big Four will replace graduate rollouts with AI. So now people are saying very openly that instead of having graduate recruitment, they will have some kind of AI to do that job. Now, a lot of people, and including me, agree that this is very short-sighted, and nor is it purely AI. There are other geopolitical reasons, there are other economic reasons for which people are doing this. But it is a reality which you will face increasingly, yes? And my main objective in this discussion is to address the students from that perspective, how we see the world, and hopefully this will be useful for you. So, and then there is this Mark Zuckerberg's thing. He's paying 100 million paid package, 100 million US dollars for AI, correct? For one person. We're not talking about acquiring a company. We're talking about salary of $100 million US for one person. And the question for me is why? What is it that he wants? And what is it he's trying to do, for which somebody is prepared to pay $100 million? You can argue with that. You can argue that there are pros and cons of that. But the point is that that is not a fake thing. It is a real thing. The question is, that is what AI is doing all over the job spectrum. It is completely skewing up everything with that. So what I want to share with you is some advice on what you should do in this situation. And it's not a technical advice, it's a more general way of thinking about AI and work. The first one is aim for leverage. Now, when I say leverage, I think AI is going to affect every job, right? And the quicker you understand what it is going to do and how it is going to impact and what it cannot do in your job is what you should be thinking of. Correct? Whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're a logistics person or anything like that, even an educator, I think that the role of an educator is also going to change here. So this is my first point. See where the human leverage is and what you can uniquely do. The second one is treat AI as a craft and not a subject, meaning that AI itself has a process. There are hallucinations, there is data, there is governance, there is security, and things like that. Try to understand the whole process of how AI is shaping a problem statement, because within that you will see a job for yourself. This is the objective of this discussion. Third one is learn it as a system and not a model. So I don't know how many people have a data science background here, but the point is that even people who do a data science work, they treat it like a particular model, like a regression or a classification or something like that. But AI is a system, correct? There are many things which come around that particular algorithm, which you should also be considering with that. The next one is build judgment before you build scale. Now, human judgment is going to be even more important in the age of AI. And the more you recognize this, the more stronger you are going to be, because you're going to be understanding and trusting yourself and not a machine. And this is a skill which you will have to develop, even when you see the machine becoming more and more powerful with that. The next one is make yourself expensive to replace and hire. So there are many things which AI cannot do. They include understanding people, they understanding second order effects, shaping problems and things like that. Then the next one is optimize for learning velocity and not salary. So learning velocity is the rate at which you are learning something. And this is very fast. It is becoming faster and faster. Your ability to learn something is extremely important with that. Who knows something like Google's notebook engine? Wow, one person at the back. Oh, 2, 3, 4, very good. Notebook 11. I would seriously consider you to look into that, correct? And it's free at the moment, as far as I understand it. It's an extremely powerful tool. It completely changes so much of what you take for granted and how quickly you can assimilate information and reprocess it to something valuable and valuable from there. So AI is changing what it means to be human. It means that you have to have more courage, you have to have more humility, and you have to have the willingness to learn something new. You need to work with uncertainty. That is the whole point of generative AI. And finally, and second couple of last points, your job should scare you a little bit, and you should learn to explain hard things and build your reputation before you build your resume. And finally, never let the tools define you, and keep guard your curiosity at all the times, correct? Because your curiosity, your ability to learn, your ability to explore, your ability to understand something new is the most valuable thing for all. And finally, most importantly, don't outsource your thinking, correct? So everybody does the sort of a chat GPT type like things, and that almost is a shortcut for making mistakes. So it's almost hard to stand out with that. So this is how we see the world. I'm not going to go into detail with this. but we see the world of AI engineering in quite a different way than most other people would. So for us, data science is one part of it. The AI agents are at the top of it. In the middle of it are a number of things which are extremely important with that. So this is based from my course at teaching at Oxford, and this is something we do with that. The other thing is something we are also doing a lot of at Oxford and also hopefully with Sanjivani as well. So this is the idea of applying research methodology for AI tools for rapidly prototyping. And this is an important thing because the use of AI to prototype something is far faster. And we can utilize those tools to create something very real rather than just normal. And I think this is important, correct? So while I conclude my last few slides, I think that you should keep this bit in mind that AI will not take your job, but somebody who knows AI certainly will. And this is what your kind of mantra should be in your perspective from there. So I want to conclude with a couple of thoughts. The first one is when I met Amit Dada. So Amit Dada is not here, is he? Or is he? Okay, he's not here. Okay. So when I met him there in London, um, we were talking about something on WhatsApp, and I shared with him what I was talking about. And what it is I have an assistant in Philippines, and Philippines had that store, and that is her house. What had happened was she had sent me a picture of what on WhatsApp saying that this is what is happening to my house. I'm sorry I can't complete your deadline. And what I was doing was I was giving her an advance of work which she hadn't done. And the reason is because I worked with her for the last 5 years. She's not going to go away. But she needs the money now because her house is in that state. She had not asked me that, but that's what I was doing with, and that's what I explained to Amitabh as well. The point here is that it is not about the money. What I wanted to share about is it is not, none of this is about money, AI and all these things. It's about the people in the end. I mean, this is the person in the Philippines. I have not met her, but I understand what the problem is, and it is a severe problem, right? So it's all about the people in the end, and this is the sort of the message in the age of AI. And of course, very nice to also think about the Shirdi Sai Baba here, which is a great thing to be here in this place with that. And I finally want to share this person's name. So is this person in the audience? Dhanashri. She is somewhere at the back. Raise your hand. No? All right. So what I want to share with you is that this is an FY student, and she sent me a LinkedIn request 2 days ago, I think. And the point is that it is a good thing. It is a good thing to put yourself out there, even if you get refused. And I think that is what we should be. That is what I was, and that is what I would encourage you to be, because that is very important. In the age of AI, it is very hard to distinguish one from the other, and your initiative, your humanness is always on. Thank you very much. Thanks. Oh yeah. Sorry, yes, I will take questions. If you have any questions, I know we are running late out of time, but happy to take any questions if you want. Yeah, at the front. Yeah.
You did mention in your slide that AI will not will take away jobs, but will AI replace doctors? Because that is the major panic which is created in the medical fraternity.
Right. I had a slide which I removed it because I wasn't sure for time. And the slide was essentially saying it had a picture of Elon Musk saying that by 2012, 2026, 2016, everybody will be driving self-driving cars. It had a picture of Hinton which says that radiologists will be useless by 2020, 2018. And there was a picture of 2019 radiologists driving normal cars to work. My point is that AI, a lot of AI is about hype to a certain extent, and this is true mainly because people want to increase the valuations of their own companies and so on and so forth. So I think that every profession will change and the nature of work will change, but I never think that it will replace everybody within the profession. So no, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're here. Okay, hello, hi. I did mention you. Thank you, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, yeah, there was a Okay, all right. I think, was there a question? No? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you, Dr. Zakar, for offering compelling and thought-provoking perspective on AI and its real-world implications. Your address had added significant depth to our understanding of emerging technologies. Our third and final keynote speaker for this plenary session is Dr. Alex Fenton. Dr. Alex Fenton is Associate Dean for International in the Faculty of Science, Business and Enterprise at University of Chester, United Kingdom, and an international academic leader in digital transformation and global higher education partnerships. A senior fellow of Higher Education Academy, Dr. Fenton has led across border academic initiatives, secured competitive research funding, published in leading journals, supervised doctoral research, and served as visiting faculty at premier management and business schools worldwide. His keynote will bring a global academic and innovative oriented perspective to today's deliberations. May I now invite Dr. Alex Fenton to kindly deliver his keynote address.
Hello, everybody. I'm so honoured to be here. Thank you to all you, all our audience, and thank you to all our esteemed colleagues and speakers for allowing me to join you today and talk to you. I'm acutely aware that I'm now standing between you and lunch, so I'm going to keep this fairly brief, and I hope that we can continue the conversation over lunch, or I've included my email address and LinkedIn there as well, so perhaps we can keep that conversation going. So I'll keep it quite brief today. So I just wanted to introduce briefly this idea of a planet, a strategic framework for digital transformation and sustainable innovation. Okay, so just briefly introduce myself. I'm an Associate Professor and Associate Dean International. I say you can find me on LinkedIn. My background is around creative technology. I've worked in business schools. Now work as a Associate Dean International around our faculty, science, business and enterprise. And that idea of bringing together three schools, business school, science and engineering, natural sciences, is because of that cross-disciplinary idea. So I come from University of Chester in the UK, one of the UK's most beautiful cities. It's quite a traditional city, quite historical, but we now are fortunate to have so many international and Indian students join us now in Chester to really increase the vibrancy. And what I really love about Sanjivani is that the idea of widening participation and innovation. So it's a real honour to be here today and to exchange some ideas. There's some of these ideas on this visit have been brought through two books that we've written. One, Strategic Digital Transformation, and its sister book on digital social media marketing. These two ideas come together as a cross-disciplinary, working with industry and academia to bring these ideas. We talked a lot about real-world research and trying to cross the bridge between research, teaching, and so forth as well, and industry practice. So this is our effort to do that. So a lot of this stuff is about digital maturity and thinking about organizations and sustainability. Our speakers earlier mentioned that you guys are the next generation, the future of all this stuff. And we really hope that you will be able to make better decisions and improve on the world in a better way than has probably been done historically. So as aspiring entrepreneurs, there's some ideas here around how you might do that and implement things in the right way that will ultimately help people and the planet. So digital transformation really is an ongoing process, that idea of that you can be constantly thinking about the evolution of technology. So moving up from this idea of engagement to fully digital organizations, and then hopefully aiming at this idea of level 4, the future. But the future we never quite get to. It's always an aspirational thing, and that enhances the idea that digital transformation is an ongoing process. So, but you've got some real opportunities there to create new, data-driven, people-focused organizations. So, sustainability context, we all know some of the challenges we've got in terms of global warming and carbon footprint. One line of code could be more important and more vital than 100 action plans for sustainability.
So we've got the tools now to be able to do these things, but we need to drive them in the right way. So this idea of sustainability, corporate social responsibility is nothing new. But I think now we're really at a point where we need, the next generation to be able to make a difference. And I think India's absolutely crucial in being able to do that with all the bright young minds, including yourselves. So here's the planet acrostic. So an acrostic is the idea of, letters telling a story, coming up with something memorable. You can create your own acrostics quite easily, and you can use some of the AI tools to do that. So the one we created with the books is P, prioritizing sustainability, L, linking strategy with sustainability, A, aligning strategy with stakeholder priorities, and no deception or misleading of stakeholders, E, evaluating sustainability messages, and T, taking time to reflect, review, and revise. So I'll just quickly talk through that. Prioritizing sustainability is about this idea of horizon scanning. So now in your studies, you've got a real opportunity now to learn things, to look at what's working, what's not working, how you might improve things. And that's horizon scanning. So use your assessments, use that time to be able to research and find out where the gaps are. We're familiar with the SDGs, Sustainability Development Goals. We've split these into economy, society, and biosphere as well. So the idea of linking strategies to sustainability, this TBL idea, triple bottom line, people, planet, profit, it's probably fair to say that thus far, some of the big companies have been too profit driven. So now it's really up to you guys as the future to be able to rebalance that and make sure that these technologies and new business models are benefiting the people and the planet and not just profit. And aligning strategies with stakeholder priorities. Stakeholders are, employees, the customers, the supply chain. Those priorities have got to be aligned, and it's got to be embedded in an ethical sense. So lots of examples of that working. There's an example here of a project we did in the UK called FanFit, where we were creating smartphone apps to try and get people more active and counter, sedentary lifestyles and empower people through data. So there's lots of opportunities there to do good, tech for good projects that might not be so profitable, but might make a positive impact on the population. Circular sharing economy, looking at products' entire life cycle. I think it's fair to say all the smartphones we've got now have been created by big companies, and it's hard to repair them. Parts are glued together. What's the carbon footprint? Not enough people are asking these questions, so you guys need to ask those questions. One of my favorite examples from India is, the idea of sustainable innovation engineering, reusing a washing machine to make lassi by the side of the road. Where else would you see that? And this is the great thing about India, reuse of these things, thinking about the life cycle, the carbon footprint is super crucial. And no deception and misleading. I mean, again, do you feel a little bit misled by the carbon footprint and the way in which these devices are made? This idea that sometimes organizations are doing this idea of washing, greenwashing, X-washing. So they'll say something, do something to make a commitment, but really, are they really doing that? I mean, we can see some examples, like Volkswagen's Dieselgate, etc. The consequences can be quite bad. And there's some good examples of good practice. So if you think in India, companies like Infosys are really dedicated towards, becoming not just carbon neutral, but carbon negative by 2030. And we can see that happening already. So avoiding that, vagueness, false labels, irrelevance, and that genuine belief and goal that you're actually going to benefit people and planet. So taking time to reflect as well. Sustainability is obviously creates dilemmas and opportunities. I mean, with all the potential of AI, how much water consumption is there? How much impact is there on the planet? So how are we going to use that effectively? I mean, with Infosys, they're creating, sustainable green energy, data centers and things, and that's really what we need at this point. Not just, more power, creating faster algorithms. We need to think about the impact of all these things. And that's the end. So I'd love to continue the conversation over lunch. If you've got any questions, please do email me, connect with me on LinkedIn, or please come and find me over lunchtime as well. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah. Question. Do we have any questions? Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Pendian, for sharing a truly global and forward-looking academic perspective on digital transformation, sustainability, and sharing circular economy. These insights beautifully connect innovation, collaboration, and international higher education practice. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the conclusion of Keynote plenary sessions. We sincerely thank all our keynote speakers for setting such a high intellectual benchmark for the sessions that follow. We shall now break for lunch. The parallel technical sessions will resume at 2:30 p.m. on the first and second floor of University building. Our student volunteers will be available to assist and guide you should you require any support. Thank you, and we wish you a stimulating and enriching conference ahead.